Alright, it is a little bit loud in here, but I said that before I would add the lye, I was going to add the rosemary. So, rigged up, not quite GoPro here. That's about 1 ounce worth of that. So that part's done. But then I want to blend it some. Remember, we already have the lemon in there, and I'm sorry if it's noisier, but I took off the microphone because I didn't want to have any snaggage. Alright, so that looks a little bit, yeah, we're going to have some layers that are a little bit more rough, but that's okay. Alright, and so just pouring it in. Make sure that when you're pouring it, you're also mixing. Just get that in there. And I have a paper towel where I'm putting things when I'm done with them. Okay. Then I will soak that in vinegar before I store that. Alright, now what we're already seeing is a little bit of mixture. What I noticed though on the side of the pan is that the water level is lower than the oil. Do you see that? So I'm going to increase the water level on the outside. Heat and agitation are what's going to speed up the process now that we're really cooking soap. All of that was just preparation. Now we're actually soaking. Still try not to splash it anywhere. I still have on my face shield. I still have on my gloves. The temperature I'm cooking at right now is medium-low. And you see my blender is stainless steel. And then I choose to have one that I can just set it and grip it in a natural way. Some of them have buttons that you have to hold on the top. That's really hard when you're doing this for several minutes. I also do not use this attachment for smoothies, for food. I just use it for soap. I was checking the consistency to make sure everything's nice and smooth. We have some chunky bits, but that's okay. It's kind of pretty, isn't it? Some people would do this just with a whisk, with a regular whisk. That takes too long for me. I don't want to wear out my arm and shoulder. I want to just go ahead and get it done. And really, I'm looking for an almost volcanic reaction. And I say almost because it's going to foam, but I don't actually want it to explode. So that's why I have the water bath, to kind of control the temperature. Even if that water I just added had not been raised to temp by the heat on the stove or by the water that's already in there, remember we had an exothermic reaction happening with the lye. So it helps to pull some of that heat out so we can have a more controlled saponification for the oils. I like the way the color is coming out though. That's from the lemon rind. And I see some things that look like they might turn out to be streaks by the time it's all done. We'll see. I'm starting to smell the rosemary now. As you can see, it's still very liquidy. Sometimes the next phase can happen in a matter of minutes. Sometimes it takes 15, 20, sometimes an hour. One of the reasons I got out of cold process soaping and went more toward the hot process method that I use with the water bath is because, oh yeah, that smells great. One time I poured up the soap after I thought it had traced, and then it traced in the molds, and it was nasty. So I'm basically looking for it to trace while it's in the pot, and then cook it for quite some time after that. I'm rotating the pot not because the pot needs to be rotated, but because my hood is kind of low on my stove. And I want to make sure I am even scraping the bottom periodically of the pan. Don't want to burn out my motor. I'll turn it down just a little bit. Yeah, that's still rather liquidy. But I love the color. I wonder what that will look like when it's done. I'm going to have to remember this one. This might turn out to be my new favorite. My arm's getting a little tired. So I'm going to let that just cook for a little bit. Trying to shake off as much soap as I can so more of it cooks. And then there's a reason I have a cutting board down that I can easily wash. And then make sure the cord is not going to be snagged by any small child and it's away from the flame. I'm going to cover this and then just make sure it's slid back onto that burner. And I'll show you if anything else happens, okay? I mean, things are going to happen, but I'm going to break this up.